Get ready, start. The Planning Commission, as far back as April 1961, nearly 3 years ago, emphasized the need to make a thorough investigation into this question of developing agro industries and not merely make an investigation but also suggest various measures which should be undertaken immediately for the purpose of developing our rural industries and our rural economy based on agriculture so that the acute problem of unemployment and underemployment in our rural areas may be fairly and effectively tackled. Therefore, the Planning Commission appointed a committee called the Rural Industries Planning Committee in April 1963. It was a very high power committee consisting of the deputy chairman of the Planning Commission and the ministers of commerce and industry and community development and the members of the Planning Commission dealing with agriculture and industries. This Rural Industries Planning Committee immediately set up a standing committee for the purpose of keeping continuous vigilance on the development of our rural industries and for the purpose of giving continuous guidance also to the Planning Commission for this purpose. This standing committee considered the entire approach to be adopted and they formulated a scheme for the projects for intensive development of village and small scale industries in the rural areas. I think it is a very remarkable study and survey of the entire program and I would, if the honorable members so desire, make these schemes of the standing committee of the rural industries planning committee available to them. It deals with the subject from the point of view of objectives. First of all, our objective is to build a viable rural economy in which not only agriculture and irrigation are to be developed, but along with that, a whole setup of industrial complex based upon our agriculture, based upon our rural conditions would be developed and they would be not merely of the stereotyped pattern of khadi and amber charkha and so on, but of a diversified pattern for the purpose of producing a viable economy in the villages so that in vast parts of the country, even where agriculture is fairly efficient, where we have a large number of unemployed persons, agriculturists, and also non agriculturists could be given full time employment. The whole objective is to produce this type of economy which will contribute towards solving this acute problem of unemployment. They selected 45 people and allotted them to the various states to all the 14 states and each project covered 3 to 5 community development blocks with a population of roughly 3 to 5 lakhs so that a fairly population substantial population was immediately covered and then they carried out a comprehensive and thorough survey of these pilot project areas. These 45 areas, which covered 3 to 5 community development blocks with a population of 3 to 5 lakhs. These 45 pilot project areas were selected in such a way that somewhere these areas were such where agriculture was prosperous, and yet there was a large population pressing on the soil which could not be employed either wholly or even partially. There were areas which were backward from the agricultural point of view, where agriculture was difficult due to irrigation not being available and due to other factors, where even agriculturists owning lands were not comfortable economically. There were the absolute unfavorable areas climatically and otherwise which were backward and which had to be developed from every point of view, agriculture, industry, and everything. They also selected areas from the tribal areas and other so called backward areas. Stop.